got the hood open on the Maserati. Notice damage on this part. I guess this part right here is too close. And then the radiator got a little shifted from the hit, but it's too close to the engine and further down to the oil filter. So I believe this could just get readjusted. As far as I know, the radiator is not leaking. This right here, I guess this is what, an oil cooler or whatever it could be. Little dent here and here, but this right here needs to get pushed back or pushed forward. And then down here, same thing. Either replace that or I'll try to use a come along, pull it. Let's see what happens with that. And then the bumper. This is the biggest issue for me because I can't drive it regardless. So I got to learn how to take off this bumper. Take off this bumper, the whole piece, everything. Either leave it off for now or replace it afterwards, so at least the car can turn. But right here, my biggest problem is this radiator. Too close to the engine. And it's rubbing on the fans. So I think that's the biggest problem. And then the hood, got to get adjusted. So I got to figure that one out. Got to get adjusted. And then over here, this was buckled a bit, so I can just straighten it out a little bit more than I did. But this right here, got to get adjusted. This upper piece seems somewhat okay. But the bumper and this piece right here, is this considered a frame or just a support? Need a headlight bezel. Adjust the lights. Maybe have to replace that. Same here with a bezel. And then readjust the lights. This part right here is kind of crooked. But if I can bang it out, I'll be happy. So this car not too bad in my opinion. Just gotta chase it. Thought it would have been total, but I don't believe not. So I'm keeping it. That did this damage. When somebody else hit the front of this vehicle, this shifted, then hit this car, and then this car was pushed all the way here from the prior video. That's my newest car for driving around now. This one I hope I keep because it's my Maserati Biturbo. My GTI 04 1.8 turbo. I love this car. I had a lot of plans for it. I just had a little emission problems. Now I got more than that. So I guess this is done. And whatever I can take out of this is going to go on that. So anybody knows body work, add some comments about Maserati especially, because that one is done. This one I want to save. It's savable. Biggest issue, the radiator and the oil cooler, if that's called, is a little shifted. I don't see no leaks. Just got to readjust that. And then this piece right here needs to get fixed. Either pry it away, bend it, hammer it, whatever it takes. But the most important, again, is this bumper. The bumper needs to completely come off so it has room to turn the tire. As we see on this side, you got pushed in way too close to the tire to drive. Regardless of the damage and the front end and the radio support and all this stuff is a little bit too close to the engine. It's blocking the oil filter and what do you call it? The electric fan motor is way too close to here, to the front of the engine. So all this should come out. This should come out, and then all of this should get straightened out as much as I can. And this bumper needs to get off. For now, I would drive without it if I can get the top radiator and all this straightened out for the most part. And I think this is all good. Maserati well built this car. As you see, no fender separation. It's welded together. If this was the other car with that hit to here, this would have been all buckled. Especially over here to here, this would have got buckled. But because over here, this is technically welded on. If I needed a new fender, I would have had to cut somewhere around here to put this on, and here. So the Italians, they built this pretty well for front end structure, in my opinion. The motor, but I like this car, so I'm keeping it. So further notice when I figure out what happens afterwards. First time popping the hood since the accident. Got a good look at what's needed. I don't think it's too much of an issue. Southern people might say something else, but I think not. Just my opinion. I'd rather go and try to fix it one way or another, the cheapest way possible, unfortunately. But here it is. 85 Maserati Biturbo, twin turbo, 5-speed. Nice, good running car for the most part. Need to do some carburetor tuning, maybe a rebuild, and this clear coat that needed to get done. This car was built in Milan, and it has good rust proofing. So this car don't have rust like the ones built up north in Modena. They didn't dip it in the rust proof stuff. So a pretty solid car for what it is. And I hope I bring it back to life. Sooner or later it will. So thank you all for watching. Further notice afterwards. Thank you.